Hey up lads and lasses, Fletch here from Ultimate Halo, and Halo, yes, it's an awesome thing, but at the same time, Bungie and 343 Industries have both made their fair share of mistakes over the years. So we're going to make this a two-parter. I don't know when the second part's going to come with infinite flighting around the corner it seems, but enjoy 7 mistakes that Bungie made with Halo.
Ultimate Halo.
So with Halo Infinite being around the corner, and before I make all that type of content, I thought it'd be worth going over Bungie's 7 biggest mistakes when it comes to Halo. Even though they made the franchise so incredible and they gave birth to it, it's still clear they made their fair share of mistakes along the way, and who wouldn't? We're all human, right? Maybe full price for Halo 3 ODST for $60 was one of them, but unlike our sponsor, Dragon City. Like Halo Infinite, it's a free-to-play game but on Android, iOS, as well as Windows and Amazon. And you know me, at Ultimate Halo, I do not exaggerate. Ever. There are literally thousands of dragons you can get in this game, and you can also build your own Dragon City. So for those of you who are Forge enthusiasts, that part is for you, my friends. You can train your dragons to make them battle and get more powerful. Or, if you're in the breeding business, why not wine and dine 2 of them and get some new dragons and make them evolve? How about some PvP modes? You can fight your friends and Dragon Masters all across the globe, and you can also strut your stuff and hop into some events which are plentiful each week to discover and play new adventures. As well as that, why not try find some of your favourite Halo YouTubers such as George Not Found or Eddie VR, and I know what you're thinking, there's no Ultimate Halo just yet, but your boy Fletch is working on that. And if that's not enough, you can go to the description down there. You can find all the links for Dragon City. You will get a free reward of 15,000 food, 30,000 gold, and the rare Citadel Dragon. And you know the score. Thank you so much for Dragon City for sponsoring this video. Okay, so number 1 on this list, and to be honest with you, this is something I was passionate about back in the day, and it's Bloom. Now, Bloom is something that brought some visual feedback to when you're shooting guns in Halo Reach, but for me, it was too random, and I actually thought the Halo Reach beta handled it much better. After some backlash from the fans, they changed it, and I just didn't think it felt good ever since. But that started a trend. Halo 4 followed on the whole, and Halo Infinite seems to be dialing it back, just like Halo 5 did to some degree, but weapons such as the battle rifle in Halo Infinite really seem to be keeping true to how the battle rifle is. Let's say in Halo 3 and Halo 2, it has no bloom, which I think is good. It's got some recoil, but you just need to have skill to use that weapon rather than having such a random element to the game. So do you like bloom? Do you dislike bloom? Or do you just not give a blooming care in the world? Let me know down in the comment section. Alright, so this next one is also something I know the community in particular has been very passionate about in the past year or two, and I actually kind of think that late night gaming spearheaded this, but poor documentation and tools from Bungie leading through the franchise. Now, basically 343 inherited quite a janky engine. Everything was kind of held together through sticks and stones, and that's kind of being generous if you ask me, and I think Bungie will even admit that. Marcus Leto admitted that in an interview with Hidden Xperia just this week. And whilst 343 did their best to wrangle with it in Halo 4, and they did seem to really manage it quite well, all things considered, it's actually the gearbox ports of Halo 1 and 2 that were really negatively affected. And Marcus Leto also, once again, said that he was quite disheartened when he saw the visual downgrades that took place in the Halo CE PC port. Now, the easy way to point the finger would be saying, oh, well, it's gearbox just being lazy, or this, that, and the other, but in reality, these engines were hard to do anything with. There was zero documentation, and Bungie kind of shot themselves in the foot with that, so it kind of led to a bit of a subpar experience for PC players, and we still saw that going forward to Halo Anniversary and Halo CE on the Master Chief Collection, and 343, which is really great of them. I cannot commend them enough for this. They actually fixed a lot of the visual issues that the gearbox port introduced, so well done. Hopefully we don't have issues like this going forward, and please 343, don't do a Bungie and documentate how your engine works. Okay, so this one's going to be controversial, and spoilers if you haven't played Halo 3, but if you haven't yet, why are you here? Killing Sergeant Johnson, I think that was a huge mistake. Now yes, you could argue that his arrival in Halo 2 after the CE ending was kind of a load of rubbish, but at the same time I say, hey you, stop. Sergeant Johnson, He's awesome. Now the reason why I think he's so awesome is he gives such a comic relief, but also a seriousness, and he has a really great backstory about him. And I just think that the franchise has kind of had a bit of a character hole ever since. He's always there to support Chief, and I'm not sure about you lads and lasses, but I also felt like I had a brotherly connection with him. Whilst he wasn't always there, because we were older kids now, he was always there when I needed him, and when the big things were happening in my life, Johnson was there to back you up. So that's just me. I understand why they did it, but I wish they could go back and change that personally. Okay, so another Halo Reach related one that started a trend, and it's the implementation of armor abilities. Now, I don't think armor abilities are inherently bad, but the thing is, in Halo Reach there was too much diversity in terms of what types you had. So I think, personally, if they were going to have sprint as an armor ability, it just needed to be a base trait, almost like Halo 4 did in the first place. And I know that's going to start the sprint argument, and if sprint's not in Halo, fine. If it is, fine. I don't really care. But at the same time, it didn't incentivize people to use other armor abilities. So let's say I only ever used jetpack or sprint because I felt the other ones didn't really give me too much benefit when somebody could just sprint away or jetpack to the sky. Now, it always felt like you were disadvantaged without them two. And it also set the scene for future games, which I think was a mistake. But thankfully, Halo Infinite seems to be doing this the right way, just expanding upon the equipment, because some of this stuff could have easily have been an armor ability in Halo Reach or Halo 4, but they've rather gone for the pickup option, which I think works best with Halo's map design and also the gameplay's flow. I think just Halo Reach started a really bad trend, and thankfully, thank God, we're getting out of that cycle. I'm curious to know your comments though. Let me know what you think on that one. Okay, so I did speak to some Halo friends about this, and he was quite persistent that removing the Arbiter as a playable character in Halo 3 was a bad decision. And you know what? I do agree, because I think we lost a bit of depth in terms of story in Halo 3. Now, Halo 3 is my favourite Halo game, but I do agree that Halo 2 has some fantastic writing in it. I know they were a lot together during the events of Halo 3, but I do want to see them branch off and see inside the Arbiter's mind sometimes, because there's lots of opportunity to see his raw thoughts on the Master Chief, so that really builds upon their connection, because they do have quite a deep connection to a degree. How did he feel about the Prophet's betrayal? And you know, what's just going on through his mind at the time? Is he worried about his own species, the Sangheli, his homeworld Sanghelios? But to be honest, Halo 3 was awesome. I'm not going to complain too much about that. However, I do feel like it was a missed opportunity. Okay, we're finally getting there, but the Halo 2 cliffhanger ending, yes, to be honest, do I really need to say anything about this? And looking back, for those of you who've just played the franchise now, you might think, oh my god, it was such a cool ending to the game, but not when you had to wait numerous years to play Halo 3 on the next generation of consoles. And as a kid, that wait was absolutely painful. I remember my brother and I speculated for years as to what was going to happen, and to be honest with you, it was well worth the wait. But I don't ever want to finish a story on a just like a really kind of empty cliffhanger like that again. So Bungie, I know you kind of know that was a mistake, but hey, I just think it needed to be in this list. Okay, finally, now this is one like I really had to sort of dig deep and look around as to what did I think was a missed opportunity or a big mistake. And once again, Marcus Slater in his interview with Hidden Xperia talked about cutting water combat in Halo Reach. Now, he did talk about how space combat was so cool, and he was really glad they got that in there, and I think that was one of the greatest parts of Halo Reach personally. But to be honest with you, it would be a great way to really break up the gameplay, and he said he did invest a lot of time into the tech at the studio, trying to get that kind of mission up and running, but ultimately it was cut. Now, we have seen some footage of what it looked like in Halo 3's engine when they were kind of prototyping it, but I'm really sad that this was missed out on, and hopefully this is something that can be revisited in the future. And to be honest with you, I always looked back at the Halo Infinite reveal trailer and saw that lake that Master Chief is looking out on, and I just think, why can't I get a boat and just drive across there? That would be so awesome. But that is my thoughts on Bungie's biggest mistakes with Halo. We'll eventually do 343s, but we're going to do some Halo Infinite Flight content when that's available soon. Thank you so much for Dragon City for sponsoring today's video. If you want to take advantage of 15,000 food and 30,000 gold, make sure you go to the link in the description, and hopefully I will see you in Dragon City. See you soon, guys.
Subscribe now to Ultimate Halo for more unfriggin' believable Halo content.